Let me guess. From the outside, your practice looks successful. You have clients, you're making decent money, you're helping people, but inside, you fantasize about walking away, quitting entirely, starting over in a completely different field. And you feel guilty about it because shouldn't this be enough? Here's what nobody's telling you. The problem isn't the work. It's that you've built a practice that's slowly killing you, and your soul knows it. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you why successful healers secretly want to quit, what your desire to walk away is actually telling you, and what needs to change so you can stay in your calling without destroying yourself. You've worked hard to build this practice. You train for years. You're good at what you do. Your clients get results. And yet, every Sunday night, you dread Monday. You count down to vacation. You fantasize about a life where you're not responsible for other people's healing. You feel trapped by the very thing that you once felt called to do. I'm Dr. Oscar Perez, the Soul Recovery Specialist, and I've worked with over 100 healing professionals, and I can tell you, when successful healers want to quit, it's not because they're weak or they don't care. It's because they built their practice on an unstable and unsustainable model, one that extracts their vitality without replenishing it. And your soul is trying to protect you by making you want to leave. I'm going to show you the 5 reasons successful healers want to quit and what actually needs to change so you can stay without burning out. Here's the first thing. Your practice has become extractive and not reciprocal. You give energy, attention, presence to clients, but there's no reciprocal flow back to you. The money that you earn doesn't restore your vitality. It just pays the bills. Every session depletes you, and there's no built-in mechanism for restoration. So this creates an energetic deficit, constant output with minimal input. Over time, this extraction makes you want to escape the entire field. Here's the truth. You're not tired of healing. You're tired of being drained. Every successful healer who comes to me wanting to quit describes the same thing. I love the work, but I'm exhausted. I can't keep giving like this. They're not burned out in their calling. They're burned out on a practice structure that treats their energy like it's infinite. It's not. Imagine a well that provides water to the entire village. Everyone comes, fills their buckets, and leaves, but no one ever refills the well. Eventually, the well runs dry. The problem isn't the well, it's that the system was designed with no way to replenish what is given. That's your practice. You're the well, and you're running dry. After a full week of seeing clients, do you feel energized or depleted? If depleted, your practice is extractive. But it's not just about energy. Here's what else is happening. You've equated your worth with your availability. You likely became a healer because being needed felt like mattering. Over time, your practice became proof of your worth. I matter because people need me. Well, this created a trap. You have to stay available in order to feel valuable. Setting boundaries or reducing availability feels like becoming irrelevant. So you stay in a practice that's killing you because leaving feels like losing your identity. You don't want to quit healing. What you want to quit is needing to be needed. Almost every healer who wants to quit also struggles to set boundaries, say no, or reduce their client load. Not because they can't afford to, but because their nervous system equates availability with worth. Taking space feels like abandonment or failure. Imagine believing that your value comes from keeping a fire burning for everyone in the village. You tend to that fire day and night because if it goes out, you believe that you become useless. The fire becomes your prison, not because it's bad, but because you fuse your identity with it. You don't actually want to let the fire die. You want permission to believe that you matter, even when you're not tending to it. Your worth isn't measured by your availability. You matter whether you see 20 clients a week or two. And here's where the guilt comes in. You feel guilty for wanting something different. You train for this work. People depend on you, and you're supposed to feel grateful. Wanting to quit feels like betraying your calling, your clients, your purpose. This guilt keeps you stuck in a practice that no longer serves you. But here's the reality. Wanting to leave isn't betrayal. It's your soul saying this structure isn't sustainable. The calling is still there. The structure needs to change. Wanting to quit doesn't mean that you've lost your calling. It means that your current practice model is unsustainable. Healers tell me, I feel so guilty. Like, people need me. I should be grateful to get to do this work. That guilt keeps them trapped in practices that are slowly destroying them. But guilt isn't wisdom. Guilt is a trap. It's often just an internalized obligation. Imagine that you're a gardener who loves plants, but you've been assigned to tend a garden that's too big, with soil that is too depleted, using tools that hurt your back, that are broken and rickety. Wanting to leave that garden doesn't mean that you don't love plants. It means that the conditions are wrong. The love for the work is real, but the setup is broken. Ask yourself, do I feel guilty when I think about reducing my client load or changing how I work? Do I stay in this practice because I'm afraid of disappointing people? Does the idea of walking away feel like I'm abandoning my purpose? If yes to all three, then guilt, not passion, is keeping you in an unsustainable practice. So, what's the actual solution? Here's what most people get wrong. If you're recognizing yourself in this, if you're successful but secretly want to quit, subscribe for more on sustainable practice structures for healers. Soul Recovery consultation in the description. Quitting isn't the answer. Restructuring is. Most healers think that their only options are to keep going as it is until they completely break down, or to quit entirely. But there's a third option. Restructure your practice so it sustains you rather than depletes you. This means seeing fewer clients for higher fees, building in restoration time, and creating reciprocal energy flow. It also means saying no to what drains you, even if you're good at it. This calling doesn't have to end. The extraction is what has to end. You don't need to quit. You need to stop practicing in a way that's killing you. The healers who successfully stay in their work don't do it by pushing through or quitting. They do it by radically restructuring, having fewer clients, higher fees, built-in rest, and clear boundaries. They treat their energy as sacred, not infinite. Imagine that you love running, but you've been running marathons every single day. Eventually, your body breaks down, and you start to hate running. The solution isn't to never run again. It's to stop running marathons daily. You restructure, so you run shorter distances. You rest between runs. You honor your body's limits, and suddenly you can love running again. That's what restructuring your practice does. Ask yourself, if I could restructure my practice with no limitations, no guilt, no shoulds, what would I change? The answer shows you what needs to shift. Here's what restructuring actually looks like in practice. Sustainable practice requires treating your energy as sacred. Sustainable practice means that you protect your energy the way that you would protect something holy. This requires charging fees that honor your worth, seeing fewer clients, and saying no without guilt. It means building restoration into your schedule, not as a luxury, but as a non-negotiable. And it means letting go of clients or work that depletes you, even if you're good at it. Your vitality is the foundation of your work. Without it, you have nothing to give. If your practice is depleting you, it's not sustainable, no matter how successful it looks. Every healer who builds a sustainable practice does it by making one radical shift. They treat their energy as more important than their availability. They say no. They charge more. They rest. They become selective about who they work with. And their work gets better because they're finally present and not depleted. You need to stop saying yes to every client that reaches out to you because you feel obligated. You need to stop keeping your fees low because you feel guilty charging what you're worth. And you need to stop scheduling back-to-back sessions with no recovery time. Instead, you have to start charging fees that honor the transformation that you provide, not just your time. You need to start seeing fewer clients and protecting your space for restoration. You need to start saying, I'm not available for that, without explanation or any guilt. Now, here's the specific practice that will help you restructure without quitting. Before you can restructure your practice, you need to see clearly what's depleting you and what's sustaining you. This practice is called an energy audit, and it creates a map for your practice's actual impact on your vitality, not what you think you should do to energize yourself or what should energize you, but what actually does. This works because awareness precedes change. You can't fix what you can't see. The data removes the guilt. You're not being difficult, you're honoring reality. And clear information allows you to make strategic decisions. What to stop, what to keep, what to change. It also gives you permission to restructure based on your needs, not external expectations. Imagine trying to fix a leaky pipe without knowing where the leak is. You'd waste a whole lot of time and effort. An energy audit is like finding the exact leak point. Suddenly, you know precisely what needs repair. You're not guessing anymore. You have data. Tonight, start this 2-week energy audit. For the next 2 weeks, track every client interaction and professional task. Create a simple tracking sheet with these columns. Activity, which is client sessions, admin work, consulting calls, etc. Energy before, rate it 1 to 10. Energy after, rate it 1 to 10. And then notes. What specifically drained or energized you? After each client or task, immediately record how you felt before on that level of 1 to 10, how you felt after on that level of 1 to 10, and calculate the difference. Okay? Positive or plus means energizing, minus means depleting. At the end of 2 weeks, look at your data and ask, which clients or activities consistently drain me or create a negative difference? Which clients or activities sustain or energize me and create a positive or a neutral? What patterns do I notice in times of day, types of work, client characteristics? Then make one structural change based on the data. If certain clients drain you and pay you lower fees, then stop taking them. If back-to-back sessions are draining you, then build in 30-minute rests in between. If admin work is draining you, hire somebody to do it or eliminate it altogether. If it's too many sessions overall, reduce your weekly capacity by 20%. This works because it removes emotional decision-making. You have data, not just feelings. It reveals patterns that you couldn't see before, and it gives you permission to change based on reality, not guilt. It also helps you create a clear action plan, not vague self-care. And it proves that restructuring is necessary and not selfish. So make one change, implement it for 30 days, then reassess. Don't restructure everything at once. You don't have to quit, but you do have to stop practicing in a way that's extracting your soul. Your desire to leave isn't weakness. It's your vitality trying to survive. Listen to it. Honor it. Restructure your practice so it sustains you instead of depleting you. You can stay in your calling without sacrificing yourself. Subscribe for more on building sustainable healing practices that honor your energy. And if you're ready for support in restructuring your practice without quitting, check the link in the description for a soul recovery consultation. Your calling is worth protecting, and so are you.